Public Information Officer for the City of Jackson, Aaron Dimick. Hey, Aaron.
Hello, Bart. Thanks for having me.
Welcome back. Good to see you. We're less than a month away from election. No, we're less than a month away from Election Day.
That's right.
Yeah, very thin ballot this election year.
Right. As far as the city of Jackson is concerned, as far as the candidates go, we are having an election for mayor, treasurer, and city council in wards 2, 4, and 6.
Okay, and also on the ballot for the entire county. So everyone in Jackson County will have a request for Jackson College for operating millage, and in a couple of school districts there will be some bond issues or millage. But other than that, it's pretty late. So turnout typically in an off election year, it's kind of low, isn't it?
Typically, a turnout for the mayor election in the city of Jackson, I would say it's anywhere between 15 to 20%. And so, although it is a low turnout election, of course, we welcome everyone and encourage everyone to vote.
Yes, everyone should vote.
Yes.
You can vote right now, can't you?
That's right. So the absentee ballots are going out to those who have requested them. And we now have a new drop box for people to submit their completed absentee ballots. So we still have the drop box downtown at City Hall, and then we just installed a second one at Nixon Park, 400 East North Street.
There it is.
In the parking lot, and there it is right there. And the reason we added another absentee ballot drop box is we are required by law, and that is because of the voting reforms that took place in Proposal 2, which were approved by voters all over Michigan in November of 2022. So it just says we have to put an additional drop box out in the community, and we determined that Nixon Park would be a good place to do that, so people on the north side of town have a convenient place to drop their ballot. And of course it makes sense because it's a city park, so we own the property. It's going to be easier for us to put a drop box there. So you can just drive through the parking lot, and this is a drive-up box. So anyone who's a voter in the city of Jackson can use this. It's not just for people on the north side. And of course, there is a camera that's watching 24/7.
Of course, and it's well lit. So if you thought about lassoing it, don't.
Yes, please don't.
Yeah. We've got City Cleanup Day. I think it's this Saturday, isn't it?
I'm looking forward to it myself. I got a lot of boxes, and I have some yard waste that I'm going to be delivering.
So what can you, well, first of all, let's, who's it for?
Yes, this is only for City of Jackson residents, and the reason we keep it to city residents is this is a city service that comes out of tax dollars. So we want to make sure that our city residents get the benefit of what they're putting into the city. So we've been doing this twice a year for a couple of years now, and it's really been successful in helping our residents clean the inside and outside of their properties. So what we generally say is you can bring yard waste, things like grass clippings and brush, things that have piled up over the summer, and just standard household trash. We're just talking things like boxes and furniture. You can go to the city website, cityofjackson.org, and see a list of prohibited items. So that's things like paint and hazardous waste and electronics, motor oil, that kind of stuff. So if anyone has any questions about what they can and can't bring, you should go to the city website, and we have a list.
If you think you shouldn't bring it, you probably shouldn't.
Also a good rule. So we have people enter on Water Street, and then you'll be directed to either the yard waste area or the trash area, and you'll drive through. And once you get up to the drop-off area, if you are able, please get out of your vehicle and help our public works workers, because that'll further things along and make things go a lot quicker.
Yeah, it tends to be a long line, so be patient, and you'll get it. You'll be able to drop off. They'll stay till it's the line's done, and just do it. And you bring a driver's license to prove your residency.
Yep, we will have city workers checking driver's licenses, and there's no limit. You can come as many times as you want.
Awesome. Now the leaves have not yet, well, they've started to fall, but it's going to be a while before leaf waste. You're not expecting that to be maybe yard waste, but not bags of leaves. You've got another plan for that.
Yeah, people can bring their bagged leaves if they want to the cleanup day, but of course we're launching our annual fall leaf collection on November 6th. So you're going to see these pieces of equipment out in your neighborhood sucking up leaves like we've seen the past couple years. So Essentially, it's going to be the same pickup as last year. You're encouraged to rake your leaves into the curb line of streets, and we will come and remove them. So we'll do that in a couple different ways. We'll be using the leaf vacuum machines like you see there, and then occasionally, if it's a really heavy load, we will use some kind of front loader to scoop it up. But the important thing to know is make sure you have your leaves out on time, and we will pick them up in the best way we can.
That thing really, it sucks them up.
Sure does.
It's got, and we have 2 of these, right?
I believe we have 4.
4?
4 of these,
Wow.
and they run simultaneously all over the city. And then if there's an area with a heavy leaf dump, like neighborhoods on the west side of the city, then we'll bring in other equipment like loaders and things like that. But for the most part, it's collected with the vacuum machines.
And they have names too, don't they?
They do. Yeah, we named them in a Facebook poll. Their names are Jack, as far as Jackson, Rose for the Rose City, Ella in honor of Ella Sharp, and I can't remember the fourth. I should have came prepared. I'm sorry. But Monday, November 6th is when it starts.
I can't remember either.
Monday, November 6th is when it starts, and it's going to continue through early December. So every section of the city will see 2 rounds of leaf collection. So oftentimes the heavy leaf output to collect is in the beginning of November, but of course then we go through December just so we can do 2 rounds.
Well, a lot of it depends on, if we get like heavy rains and strong winds, suddenly they're all gone. But
yeah, or if we get a snowstorm in November, that could really gum up the works. That would really prevent us. So we have a schedule, and we really do our best to stick to it. And we often finish on schedule, but some days run a little together.
Earlier in the show, the mayor was here, and he did mention that the council is seeking applications for Fifth Ward Council.
Right.
And that goes, I think they want them by a certain date, right? Is there a deadline?
We don't have a deadline at the moment. We're keeping it open. So our first step was just getting the application out to the community for residents who live in the Fifth Ward. And then it's going to be up to the city council to decide what the process is going to be, such as what the deadline is, when they're going to interview the candidates in a meeting, perhaps if they have a goal of when they need to fill it by, something like that. So the application is up on our website right now, cityofjackson.org. So if you are a registered voter within the city's Fifth Ward, then you can apply to serve on the city council.
Right, and it's not like a job application. It's a pretty simple form to fill out.
Yeah, just the basic contact information, and we want to know about your occupation, what you do in the community, and your past community experience, and you can upload a resume or something like that if you'd like, but it's less of an intense process than a job opening, yes.
Later this week, we have a meeting you want to invite people to, or an event, the Racial Equity Commission event. What's that?
Yeah, our Racial Equity Commission is a volunteer commission and its residents, and they come together to look at things with a racial equity lens in our city government. And they've been doing a lot of great events since they started a couple years ago, just to inform the community about things like racial equity. So this is going to be creating spaces for equity, and it's a community outreach forum. And really, it's just going to be a broad look at what is equity, because there's so many people who have probably heard this word and don't know too much about it. So it's just a look at what is racial equity and the questions surrounding it. There's going to be a panel and a question and answer session, and there's also going to be a guest speaker who is a professor from Oakland University. And that's going to be happening this upcoming Thursday, and it's happening at the library on Thursday from 6 to 8.
All right. Oh, and I do have the list of prohibited items at the trash cleanup day. No batteries, tires, kitchen garbage, paint, liquid waste, appliances that contain or have contained Freon, hazardous waste, electronics, motor oil. And staff will be checking the bags to make sure you're not trying to smuggle in some kitchen waste.
Please, no kitchen waste.
All right. Well, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
PIO, Public Information Officer for the City of Jackson, Aaron Dimick. Next.